During a roof repair job, a worker climbed a ladder that leaned against the roof when the ladder suddenly slid out from below, causing him to fall straight to the ground. His leg became caught on the ladder steps, potentially fracturing it from the impact. The fall happened within seconds, turning a simple access task into an accident. This incident highlights the dangers of unsecured ladders during elevated work. Ladders must be properly stabilized at the base and tied off at the top before climbing. Using level ground, anti-slip feet, and spotters is essential to prevent sudden falls and serious injuries. In a manufacturing facility, several workers were testing new equipment when a pressurized metal pipe suddenly shifted and struck one worker hard in the head. The impact knocked him straight to the ground as nearby coworkers rushed in to help. The incident happened without warning, turning a routine equipment test into an emergency within seconds, with the worker left stunned on the floor while others assessed his condition. This incident highlights the dangers of working around pressurized components during commissioning. Workers should stay clear of potential movement zones, wear proper head protection, and follow lockout procedures to prevent sudden releases from causing serious injuries. In the back of a furniture shop, a new forklift operator lifted multiple bundled tent materials and began transporting them across the floor. Suddenly, the unbalanced load caused the forklift to tip forward unexpectedly. The operator jumped clear just in time, but landed hard on the floor, hurting himself. What started as a simple material transfer quickly turned into a dangerous equipment rollover. This incident highlights the risks of improper load handling and inexperience with heavy machinery. Forklift loads must be balanced and kept low, and operators require proper training before independent operation. Adhering to weight limits and following safe driving procedures are essential to prevent tip-over accidents. In an automotive shop, a new worker helping push a car suddenly fell into an unmarked gap in the floor. He landed safely without hitting his head or sustaining serious injury, leaving coworkers relieved when they looked over to check on him. He even got out of the hole without any help. This incident highlights the dangers of unmarked floor openings in active work areas. Gaps and pits must be clearly covered or barricaded, and new workers should be briefed on site hazards. Maintaining clear walkways and hazard awareness is essential to prevent unexpected falls and injuries. In a metal parts factory, a hydraulic press suddenly came down on a worker who was still hunched over adjusting a metal sheet, crushing him instantly. A coworker had activated the machine without realizing he was still in position. The sudden activation turned a routine forming task into a fatal accident within seconds. This incident highlights the extreme dangers of operating presses without clear communication and safety interlocks. Machines must be equipped with two-hand controls or presence sensors, and operators must confirm all personnel are clear before cycling the equipment. Strict adherence to lockout procedures and safety protocols is essential to prevent crushing injuries. In an automated microchip factory, a press mechanism suddenly activated while a worker was underneath, crushing his head as he tried to pull free from the hydraulics. The machine overpowered his efforts within seconds, turning routine maintenance into a fatal accident. The worker had been servicing the press and had failed to fully shut it down before entering the danger zone, leaving him exposed to unexpected activation. This incident highlights the critical dangers of performing maintenance without full lockout procedures. Safety interlocks, emergency stops, and strict lockout/tagout protocols are essential to prevent sudden machine movement and deadly crushing injuries during servicing operations. In a parking lot, a car suddenly began rolling backward, and a man who had just stepped out rushed in to stop it with his body, preventing it from crashing into a parked vehicle. His legs took a heavy blow, leaving him with a severe fracture, as the car finally came to rest. This incident highlights the dangers of unsecured vehicles and attempting to stop moving cars manually. Drivers must always engage the parking brakes and place vehicles in park before exiting. Wheel chocks on sloped surfaces, situational awareness, and avoiding physical intervention with moving vehicles are essential to prevent serious injuries in parking areas. At a burial site, a coffin suspended from an excavator bucket suddenly dropped when the rope holding it snapped, sending the coffin crashing down into the grave below, with its top opening up slightly as well, compromising the body inside. This incident highlights the dangers of improper rigging during lifting operations. All lifting gear must be rated for the load, inspected before use, and secured with proper slings and attachment points. Using certified rigging equipment and maintaining clear exclusion zones are essential to prevent sudden load drops during burial and construction activities. At a highway junction, a speeding dump truck suddenly lost its brakes, sending the vehicle out of control as its cargo box scraped violently across the pavement and spilled the rebar it was carrying. A motorcycle rider directly in its path narrowly escaped by abandoning his bike at the last moment and sprinting to safety, avoiding what could have been a fatal impact. This incident highlights the critical dangers of brake failure and unsecured cargo on heavy vehicles. Emergency escape awareness for riders and drivers, along with strict vehicle maintenance, can prevent catastrophic crashes on busy roads. At a highway exit, a man jumped from the top of a dump truck's cargo box just as the truck attempted to clear a vertical clearance. The sudden movement caused parts of the truck to scrape and break against the overhead obstruction, destabilizing the vehicle and tipping it over to the side. The man rolled to the ground and avoided being crushed. This incident highlights the dangers of riding atop cargo and navigating insufficient clearances with heavy vehicles. Operators must ensure proper height clearance, avoid riding on unsecured loads, and maintain vehicle stability. Strict adherence to safety protocols, securing personnel, and route planning are essential to prevent tipping accidents and injuries on highways. On a road, a delivery truck carrying hollow blocks suddenly began reversing in the middle of traffic. It ran over a motorcycle rider, damaging the bike beneath its heavy tires before continuing backward. The truck only came to a halt when it collided with a tree. The incident unfolded in seconds, turning what should have been a routine delivery into a life-threatening event. This incident highlights the dangers of unmonitored heavy vehicles in public areas. Trucks must have proper braking systems, reverse alarms, and spotters when maneuvering. Traffic control, vehicle checks, and maintaining safe zones are critical to prevent fatal run-over accidents. In a sorting facility, 2 workers were manually transporting a heavy metal crate full of parcels when the load suddenly tipped over from the slightest imbalance. The falling crate crushed both workers' toes, causing severe injuries and forcing them to stumble and skip in pain. The incident happened in an instant, turning a routine moving task into a dangerous accident that left both workers incapacitated. This incident highlights the dangers of manually handling excessively heavy or unbalanced loads. Using dollies, pallet jacks, or forklifts for heavy crates, along with protective footwear, can prevent crushing injuries in sorting and warehouse operations.